All right, thanks, Mom. Those are some great insight and some helpful tools. Communication and social skills are really important with relating with people. Tonight, I'm going to share some insights and some understanding about communication. As one who has autism, I've been thinking that all social skills lead back to a person's emotion in some way. And in this emotional world, is a social language that symbolizes it, that is so invisible to someone with autism. Without understanding how this social language represents emotional states, we will not fully understand the connection between social language and the dance between our emotions and the emotions of another. There is so much about communicating that impacts socialization that it boggles my mind. The biggest piece for me is in understanding the context of communication or interaction. My social skills are very limited contextually. My ability to bring skills to an interaction depends on my familiarity of that context. The amount of my participation depends on how much of the context I grasp. Context most often comes from integrating and assimilating the continuity of information or interaction over time. The context and content of a conversation can shift very fluidly and quickly. In a world social view, this means gathering, comprehending, and remembering numerous details of information that impact my life. This content could be trivial or significant and obtained through various sources and from differing ranges of time periods. Then I need to sort into which context a communication falls. While information may be present in the environment, my brain often selectively filters it out due to overwhelm from my senses, or my attention being focused on a different detail. Even when information gets through, my brain might not know how to interpret the content. If it does, I may not know how to interpret what that means for me. For example, if I am able to interpret the expression on someone's face as annoyed, as did my mom in her example, I may not be able to assess or project how that could impact my next moment, such as a confrontation. It would really be helpful if I could do this, because I have been told a lot how annoying I can be. Or maybe that's just one of those things I selectively filter out. As humans, we have two basic methods for conveying the thoughts and feelings of our internal, mental, and emotional world to others, verbally and non-verbally. These two methods can function independently or together. Verbal communication consists of either written or spoken words. It is this form of communication I rely on the most, and for the most part I take it literally. Nonverbal communication consists of just about anything else that is not words. It is this kind of communication with which I have so much trouble. It has an incredible amount of complexity and confusion to communication for me. It includes body language, style and dress, social position, environment, and so on. Body language includes facial expression, eye contact, gestures, posture, spatial distance, and touch. Nonverbals include speaking characteristics such as voice quality, range, pitch, volume, rhythm, intonation, inflection, and stress, but not the words themselves. Also, it is possible for both the verbal and the nonverbal method together to convey different or contradictory information at the same time. For example, facial expression can give different meaning than the word. Gestures can have different meaning than the word and facial expression. Vocal inflection and volume can have different meaning than the word, facial expression, and gesture. It frequently takes me time to identify, assess, and comprehend the different types of verbal and nonverbal information people convey to me. I easily get confused and overwhelmed and have to ask a lot of clarifying questions. I also need to be able to convert my internal, mental, and emotional world into verbal and nonverbal communication to convey to others. This processing of multi-layered and bi-directional communication further adds to the complexity of interpreting a message's content and context in the area of, is it mine or is it theirs, and are we both on the same page? It is this need for more time, of which my mom's fourth, clearer communication skills allow time for the other to process, speak, so that it is so important when communicating with autistic. The autistic's challenge, then, is to learn how to interpret and integrate the numerous verbal and nonverbal clues of social language into this means what to me, and this means what to them. But how can we do this? This becomes a call to the autistic parents and caregivers to develop, acquire, or discover methods and strategies to teach us the methods and strategies to dance the social dance. I began learning about context and content and how they are related and conveyed in verbal and nonverbal through three major events in my life. While growing up and trying to better understand the communication process, I was blessed with three great teachers. The first one was my mom. I had a conscientious mother who always listened to my feelings, my expressions of confusion, and my complaints. She was there for me with my constant need for explanation and constant reassurances about social interactions and their consequences. She would often explain her reactions or her responses and what caused them. By doing this, she helped me manage my confusion about communication. Later, I realized my mother had been giving me context for events and circumstances that were going on in my life before I was able to begin synthesizing them for myself. Each nuance of a situation requires the disclosure of a new context. A generalized context seldom covers minute changes to a situation. Consequently, I required a lot of patience. My mother must be saint. I also realized later that her strategies were synergistic with my ability to comprehend what she was sharing, along with her own personal growth work. Through this symbolic relationship, I was able to integrate many aspects of verbal and nonverbal communication, the social dance. The second blessing that helped me was the chat room. When I was 18, I discovered dial-up chat room that I could access through my computer. This is just before the internet became commercialized. I could talk about anything and everything without having to interpret all of the nonverbal forms of communication that would otherwise be present in a face-to-face meeting. The format of the chat room removed the nonverbal communication component I witnessed people outside my family chatting online and having thoughts and opinions about other people. This caused me a major epiphany. Other people, strangers, could, and probably did, have thoughts about me. Until this moment in my life, this notion had never occurred to me. It was never a concern. Even in the midst of people staring at my physical differences. Fully comprehending this realization meant that what I said or did could affect others' thoughts and actions about me. This also reflects back to my mom's first from the 4 life advantages, self-empowerment, the part about gaining knowledge that we can affect each other's feelings and actions. This was a huge awakening for me. The third blessing that helped me involved a computer game called The Sims. When I was 24, right before I graduated college, I discovered a live simulation computer game called The Sims. Players can control their characters, or Sims, in various activities and form relationships. The result of a Sim interaction with another Sim was displayed in concurrent ways. Body language changed, inflections were applied to the Sim nonverbal speech sound, and a plus or minus sign appeared on its head. These indicated whether interactions produced a happy or unhappy Sim. The Sims game served me in a similar way that Chapman did, except that instead of the nonverbal information being removed, the verbal information was removed. This helped me better understand how nonverbal communication works in the real world. The game also displayed 2 mood level meters for each Sim. 1 meter bar displayed the immediate mood interaction response. The other meter displayed the overall quality of relationship between the Sims. I connected the Sims characters emotionally in a different way than to other people in real life because I knew the Sims characters' emotional life and intentions. They were me and not me. There was enough psychological separation between me and the character that the abstraction allowed me to realize their lives and humanity. The Sims game used an accelerated time frame. Days, months, and years could be compressed into a few days' worth of playing. This enabled me to witness a Sim's whole life in a short period of time. This helped me see and comprehend the communication patterns and causes and effects of relationships which I have difficulty discerning in real life. For me, these abstractions greatly added to my understanding of how my interaction with others produced positive or negative results. I realized that by consciously choosing how to interact with others, I can produce positive or negative thoughts and emotional results in them, and that this affected the quality of our relationship. I now had the concept into which I could fit social interaction. From then on, I can gauge my interaction with people by imagining a plus or minus sign over their head. The plus or minus sign is the key that gives me access to the context of my internalized representation of their mood meters, their emotional and mental world. Tonight I've talked about the communication challenges faced by autistics, their parents, caregivers, other family members, and friends. I have discussed what communication means and how it's conveyed and its complexities. I discussed how context and content play a significant role in helping autistics to comprehend the world around them and enhance interaction with others, and that methods and strategies need to be made available to us to help with this task. Finally, I have shared some methods, tools, and strategies that were immensely helpful to me in learning communication skills and social interaction. Autism is described as a spectrum. It spans from those who are severely affected to those who are high-functioning like myself. Current research shows that early diagnosis and intervention can make a significant difference in the lives and outcomes of those affected. My brother and I were blessed with a mother who intuitively, courageously, and patiently took steps to change our outcomes and our lives, even without her knowing our late diagnosis of autism. I'm also fortunate to have a brother to share similar disabilities as mine. Growing up, we did not feel so completely all alone in a neurotypical world. He helps give context and content to the meaning of who and what we are. Now you will hear from someone who also has thoughtful insight on his experience of communicating and relating with others. My artistic and articulate brother, Logan